Anyone who owned a home during the 2007 housing crisis remembers how scary it was back then, with so many families losing their homes to foreclosure.
And now housing analysts are starting to see a foreclosure uptick again. And unfortunately, Las Vegas is at the tip of that financial spear. News 3's Steve Wolford joins us live from downtown Las Vegas with a closer look at this concerning trend and what that means for homeowners across the valley.
Yeah, that's right, you guys. First, though, let's make an important note. The situation that we're seeing right now is not even close to what we saw during the Great Recession with the foreclosure crisis back then. That said, some new data from Attom Data does make you take notice, especially when you see where Las Vegas and Nevada land on their list.
There's definitely been an uptick in foreclosures in Las Vegas, pre-foreclosure specifically.
Veteran real estate broker Kristen Riffle says she's seeing it.
People aren't making their mortgage payments due to numerous factors, the economy, inflation, all the things you can imagine.
And according to AttomData.com, which analyzes real estate market data from around the U.S., about 1 in every 2,200 homes in Nevada is now in foreclosure, higher than any other state in the nation. And among metropolitan areas with more than 200,000 people, Las Vegas ranks 4th in the U.S. with just under 1 in 1,800 homes in foreclosure and number 1 among cities with more than 1 million people.
This is why economists always look at Las Vegas first, okay? It's always the lab rat for real estate market movement. We're always the first one, so everybody's got their eyes on us to see what happens.
So how bad could it get? Well, probably not that bad at all, because economists and real estate professionals saw this coming. We're coming off a prolonged period of time when mortgages weren't being paid because of moratoriums through the pandemic, especially in Las Vegas, where so many people lost their jobs when tourism crashed during the lockdown.
As soon as it was okay to foreclose, that process started for a large number of homes. I don't think it's a sign that we're in any kind of big trouble here in Southern Nevada. It's just an imbalance that has to get taken care of. But overall, the housing market, I don't think, is going to be dramatically impacted by this.
That's because, according to economist Mike Pequeen, we still don't have enough inventory, even though more buyers are discouraged by high interest rates.
We've never seen anything like this before. We're in completely new territory that nobody's used to.
So if you are having trouble making house payments, Kristen Riffle says foreclosure should not be your first option by a long shot. Get with a realtor and they can explore some other possibilities for you. As for interest rates, it looks like the Fed is pretty close to finishing any rate hikes through the end of the year, possibly 1 more quarter point between now and the end of the year. And eventually in the long run, as we know, that will help mortgage rates slowly drift back down, which overall will definitely have a positive impact on the housing market.
MGM Resorts announcing in a series of updates their hotels and casinos are operating normally. This comes 10 days after a cybersecurity incident impacted large areas of their operations.
Brett Forrest joins us live from down on the Strip tonight. And Brett, the company's always going to try to make things seem as positive as possible. It's what they do. But MGM saying things are back to normal and things actually being back to normal can be two very different ideas.
Yeah, Jim Marie, good evening. That's right. Yeah, these updates MGM's posting, they're saying they're pleased that their hotels and casinos are operating, quote, normally, but cybersecurity experts and comments from the public suggest otherwise.
Bare minimum operations is not the same as back to operations. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize is the elevators are working. Okay, but are all of the elevator systems back working? How much of the elevator system is back functional?
That's Dr. Arthur Salman, the director of cybersecurity at the College of Southern Nevada. He says 10 to 14 days to get the basic operations back up and running is standard. But one look at the comments on MGM's updates show that the rewards app, online booking, and things like mobile check-in and digital keys are still down and frustrating customers. As for employee systems, Salman says those could take weeks to fix.
Customers are the primary focus because that's how they get their money. The employees, they can go back to pen and paper.
All of this comes after Caesars Entertainment admitted in filings it too was a victim of a cybersecurity incident.
Caesars reportedly paid a ransom, but then MGM did not. So do you think one of these casinos made a better choice than the other in terms of how all this played out?
It's hard to say, and I don't like to second guess the professionals at those organizations. But by and large, I like to be on the side of good, not on the side of crime, and that means not paying. Paying means that there's just going to be more of it. The more profitable it is for the cyber criminals, the more they're going to do it.
And there's no guarantee these cyber criminals will delete stolen data once a ransom is paid. Experts say this is a wake-up call for all industries to now train employees and beef up their cybersecurity protections.
And Dr. Solomon also tells me that the dangers with MGM, they're not out of the woods yet. There could still be malware in any one of their systems, so they're going to continue to have to rebuild everything. And he says, though MGM's claiming things are back to normal, it could be at least a year until they're at that point.
And we start with new information into the murder of a guy they called Andy Probst tonight. The retired police chief hit and killed while he was out riding his bike last month, apparently on purpose. Good evening, everyone. Glad you're with us. I'm Jim Snyder.
And I'm Latoya Silman. Metro Police say the teens accused of killing Probst with a stolen car hit another bicyclist in the Northwest Valley with a different car that was stolen the morning of August 14th. Our Kristen Drummond live near the Fort Apache and Washburn intersection with the very latest on this case. Kristen?
Jim and Latoya, Metro Police are calling this hit and run an attempted murder. Officers say that the 72-year-old man was riding his bicycle here on Fort Apache, which has a designated bike lane, when two teens in a stolen car hit him intentionally. Now, the 72-year-old man survived, and the two teens are now in custody. But police say they still have not been able to identify the car that hit him.
The bike was mingled basically from the seat in a 90-degree bow. The gentleman was standing talking to the police officers.
For privacy concerns, this man did not want to show his face, but describes the aftermath of seeing that hit and run in his neighborhood the morning of August 14th. Unaware until now it's related to the teens accused of killing Andy Probst, the retired police chief intentionally hit by a stolen car while riding his bicycle in a designated bike lane near Tenaya and Centennial Parkway around 6 in the morning on August 14th. A passenger appears to record the disturbing moment we decided not to show you due to its graphic nature. But police say the murder happened about 30 minutes after the teens hit the 72-year-old man in a different stolen car, which again has not been found yet.
The other vehicle, which we have yet to identify, which we are still trying to identify, is the vehicle involved in the first hit and run involving the bicyclist.
Did the 72-year-old go to the hospital?
He got checked on scene, from my understanding.
Now, police suspect the teens were involved with at least 4 stolen cars on Monday, August 14th. The one that hit the 72-year-old bicyclist here, the other that hit Probst about 4 miles away, and then 2 others involved in a crash around Torrey Pines and Lake Mead Boulevard. Police have so far recovered 3 of those, but the one that hit the 72-year-old bicyclist here has still, again, not been found. But if you know any information or have any information, saw anything, know what that car may be or where it may be tonight, you are encouraged to call Crime Stoppers.
Just click below and subscribe to News 3. You'll get more stories that affect your community.